I wanted to do a quick live. Let me make sure everything's off. Yeah, everything should be switched over. So I wanted to do a quick live. I was talking to my friend now, and we had a conversation about a mutual person, like somebody we went to college with. And in the world of men, we notice things, but some things are not are unspoken. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. So there's a mutual friend. Well, ooh, they're not our friend. The person's not our friend. The man is not our friend. So it's been about what 6 years now. We've known the person for 10 years. To say you know somebody, but it's been what 5 6 years now, and we never had this conversation, which was this guy might be homosexual. We never saw him with a guy. We never heard him talk about a guy. And he didn't necessarily move like, you know, how the women, the guys who like to be a woman or like are very open about it, how they move their hands. He never did stuff like that. But we could still tell that he was playing on the other side of the field. And we never talked about it. You know, this goes to my point of, if you talk about hazing and bullying, when it comes to social bullying, women have that under wraps. They're the ones who do that. Men, we just ignore you. Growing up, I saw all these like TV shows where, you know, homosexual gay men were beat up and stuff in the locker room. And I was always kind of confused because I never saw men act that way. Now, you know, when I was growing up, people would say, "Oh, you gay," or, you know, call you gay or something like that. But we never got it or heard somebody say it in a way where it was like, "Oh, I'm trying to hurt and kill you. Like, I'm trying to like mess you up." It was more so like, "You gay." Next thing you know, your mama is the next follow-up conversation, right? In the like world. In the female world, women are very quick to call you gay, call you sassy, stuff like that. And it is from a very demeaning, hurtful place. Can you go, sir? Can you go? Go, go, my guy, go, 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 go. There's this turn into this neighborhood that I don't like to do unless I'm turning by myself, because it's such a narrow turn. So I'd rather let people go, even if it's my right of way, because I'm the only car stopping traffic. And so you can go. I'll let you go, just so I have a nice clean turn. Anyways, so yeah, in the world of men, I've never really experienced fellow men making fun of homosexual slash gay men in a hurtful manner. In fact, every man was called gay at some point in a way of like word battle. You know, your mama, you're this, you're that. But it was never like a we're gonna bully you till you hurt yourself kind of thing. And so this associate of ours, we've never talked about, hey, this guy is kind of, he's playing for the other team till today, where it was kind of just lightly mentioned. Yeah, he definitely was on the other side of the field. He definitely. We never heard anything. Da, 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 da. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if, for some reason, I had a chance to talk to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, my wife, my girlfriend." I'm like, "Oh, your wife, your girlfriend?" Because I've experienced that too, where you think somebody's like that, and then you find out, oh no, they got a whole wife, they got a whole girlfriend. Now, obviously, sometimes people have that to cover up what they really are. You know, so there's both sides to it. Anyways, to finish this conversation, right? My friend and I, we were saying that it's very interesting how we've never actually talked about it, and this guy has never really given us a clear reason to suspect him or reason to really. Well, we don't. And I just explained, men in nature don't care, because you're just one less competition. Like you're one less. Oh, you're a guy. You like guys. As long as you don't bother or bug me, we're cool, because more women for us, more opportunities for us. That's how guys view that whole situation. Well, now that we're actually talking about it, we're like, yeah, he definitely was. I don't ever think he ever was like, look at that girl, look at that booty, look at that. Yeah, I don't think he ever was like that, you know? And then we went on to talk about how, yeah, you know, when a guy is very open about being a girl or one or liking guys, makes you know he's wearing a skirt, he's moving his hand like this, you know? He's you know what I mean? And so when guys do that, we notice that, and then also they just play that part. Meanwhile, when you come to particularly our women, they don't give off the vibe that they are women. They give off a very strong-minded, I don't need you, I got everything under control, you a N-word, you are sassy. So it's very interesting how we could talk about a particular person and be like, yeah, that guy did give off some feminine, weaker male, wanting another man kind of vibe. And when we think about our female counterparts, we don't right off the bat get that, oh, she is a woman, she is interested. We don't get that. I've only gotten that. Yeah, we don't get that. We don't get that. Reflecting back, I don't necessarily get that from our women. I've gotten that from other women, like Asian or Spanish. Like, there's a difference between a girl likes you, she's flirting, and like you get this vibe of like, oh, I'm feminine and I'm interested, seeking male. The vibe I get is I'm surveying, I'm recruiting, I'm looking for somebody to level me up. I'm on my you know, I'm boss babe. I get these vibes. I gotta be in control. Control is a big part. Um, because the one time I dated a white girl in college, she was always kind of like real reserved and behind me, holding my elbow kind of thing. Screamed like, protect me, save me. Very feminine, very sweet girl. But I don't really get that. Meanwhile, when I in the past dating black women, I get this vibe of like, I'm your mom. You're doing this wrong. You're doing that wrong. Constant, constant. A constant. I'm not going to listen to you. Constant. Gonna be difficult. Constant. If you go left, I go right. And even when they like you, I get a now the conversation becomes, do you not like my feelings? I get a bombardment with, do you like my feelings? Do you acknowledge my feelings? So yeah, it's very interesting. And then we ended up the conversation where I was like, you know, luckily I haven't gotten too much of that homosexual encounter vibe where a guy wanted to try to make a move on me. Luckily, I give off strong black male. It's funny because I'm a very funny guy. So then I said to him, you know, but I do also understand that I give off a please don't rob me vibe. A dude I used to know back in high school called me. I missed the call, and if you call me, I'm gonna call you back kind of person. And so I missed the call, but his text message seemed kind of weird because he sent me a message, and then a week or two later he called me again, so I called him back. We talked on the phone a little bit, and he said stuff like, "I love you, Buka. I love you." And I was like, where is this coming from? So I quickly hung up the phone. I was like, well, I got to get back to work. Talk to you later. Hung up the phone because you say some stuff on the phone that was weird. And it's crazy. Like, when somebody be like, love you, Buka, I was like, ooh, that made me uncomfortable. Why are you talking about you love? I have never talked to you. I haven't talked to you. Last time I talked to you was maybe like 4 years ago. Where is it coming from? We talking about ham sandwiches. We talking about, oh, how's work? Oh, work's good. Cool, 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 cool. How's your sister? Oh, sister's cool. I love you, Buka. What the hell? Well, you know you're a dude, sir. So I was just like, I'm not gonna go into the whole because I'm not homophobic or nothing. I treat everybody the same. So I said, all right, gotta get to work. Talk to you later. Hung up the phone because that's weird. You're weird. Chill out. Stay over there, sir. Stay over there. Stay over there. You know, stay over there. I'll stay over here. But so yeah, luckily I give off that presence of like, don't mess with me. And I don't really have to say much. And I actually enjoy it because when I do speak or when I do smile, people say that I tend to melt the room. I think it's because people perceive a certain vibe and opinion about me because I'm black, because I'm big, because of whatever. And so then when I say something to you, it breaks a lot of barriers, especially because I'm an extrovert apparently. So I like to reach out and cross the room to come interact with you. For example, I was just at the H Mart, the Chinese supermarket, to get some mangoes, and one of the things, so I'm differentiating. I'm taking the time to try to differentiate the different types of Asians, trying to figure out like what makes this person pretty unique and different. So I get an idea of what a Korean looks like. I get an idea of what a Vietnamese looks like. I definitely know when I see a Filipino. Thai, definitely know when I see a Thai, but I definitely get the vibe of Japanese and I get the vibe of Chinese. But when you sometimes cluster them all together, you don't know who's who. You guys know what I'm talking about. Just like black people look alike. So I would go to this market and I know one particular woman. I know her face and everything. So when I walked up and everything, I said, "Ni hao," you know, and she started smiling from cheek to cheek. And I made sure to say thank you, Chishini. And just that right there, she never expected. Well, she's seen me a couple of times. She knows I come in, I buy mangoes and bananas and stuff. So she knows me. But every time she sees me, it's still an experience for her to be like, because she's like 5'2" at best. And then here I am, like towering over her. And I'm not a skinny, tall dude. I'm a pretty above average height, thick. But you see me on camera. You guys see what I look like. You see these muscles. These muscles, the size of her head, like this right here is the size of her head. So for her to look up, she's looking up and here, Niha come from me. It goes, oh, Niha, yeah, yeah. So just giving off that, because when I walk in with this sweatshirt, right, and God forbid I walked in with my wife beater, because I'm wearing a wife beater under here. It's getting warm, so I'm wearing, I wear that now, but I still wear a jacket because I'm a sweatshirt, because I do get cold easy. Well, I like to stay warm. I don't get cold easy. So God forbid I walked in there with that, but still with this on, right, a hoodie with shades, you know, and I'm not just smiling ear to ear, and I'm in physical fit, I'm physically fit. It looks like it's gonna rain, so I gotta go walk 6 miles real quick before it starts showering. Anyways, just the figure, the presence is like, oh wow, and then I break that barrier. You go, whoa, okay. And because let's say she's Chinese and I speak Chinese to her, that really starts to create opportunities where it's just like, oh, what if she got to know me and was like, oh, I have a niece. You want to talk to my niece? Oh, you're an engineer. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. That creates this opportunity where it's like, all that happened was she saw this image and then I broke it. So now instead of that scary, oh, don't rob me, or big black man. Now she's like, oh, gentleman, big black gentleman. Oh, intelligent. Oh, speak different language. Speak that like, oh, Chinese. Ni hao, ni hao. Now she gets a different, and she likes it because it's different. It's unique. Because you come to America, you know how people say, speak English, speak English. We speak English here. So when you take the time to learn somebody else's language and you learn their culture, it really flatters them. It's like, oh, this guy is genuine. It's a person. For example, one of the psychology tricks you do is when you meet somebody and you're having a conversation, if you can get that person to talk 80% of the time, they will like you. They will love you. Why? Because you allow them to talk. The 20% of the time you talked doesn't mean anything. They don't remember that. They just remember having a good time talking to you. Even though you only talk 20% of the time, they feel like they know you, because they talk 80% of the time. Once they start to fill in those bubbles, they go, then you might have a different conversation. For example, like on Facebook throughout the years, I've had some really good friends throughout my life, like family friends, like high school, I meet your whole family, da, da, da. But throughout the years, as people watched my Facebook, read my posts, things like that, certain families have come now to realize, ooh, maybe I don't like Buka. Because they assume a lot of things about me. Then when they come to realize my real opinion on it through different various posts, they can have let me get a distancing effect. Now, if you respect who I am and respect me then you should respect my intelligence, regardless if you agree or disagree. But see, the thing about when you interact with people don't truly respect you unless they have some sort of history with you. Like, oh, you got to give somebody a reason to respect you. So when you let somebody talk for 80% of the time, they apply all of their biases and everything that they normally like on you. And so, as time progresses and they get to learn more about you, then that starts to fade, and they realize, oh no, what have I gotten into, or what's going on? I thought that. Why? Because of their own ego, because of their own arrogance, because of what they got going on. You know what I mean? So that's why it takes time to really understand and know somebody. However, that first initial impression is what will at least get your foot through the door, right? And lead things into a good direction, or whatnot. And in order to get that first impression, for example, if you're a woman and you like a man, you gotta behave in a certain way where men perceive you as a woman that is interested in a man, not a woman that is cosplaying as a man. Just like how gay, homosexual, trans men behave in a way where it telegraphs to the world, I am a man and I'm interested in men. And I am proud of it, and I enjoy, and I love this lifestyle. And I want you to be a pick me out from the crowd, see me from a mile away, and know that I like men. Women have to be able to do that. And until women start doing that, people are going to continue to be single. People are going to continue to have the problems they have in their families. Because men and women are starkly different. They are drastically different. They're not the same. There are so many things, the way we process things are much different. The last thing I'm going to say is this. For example, I was talking to a young lady a while back, and she was talking about her feelings. And I've had to tell people, a lot of women, this before, that if you want somebody to talk to about your feelings, then go find a fellow girlfriend. Go find a woman to share your feelings with and talk to. When you come to talk to me, I am not going to be dancing to the drumbeat of your feelings. I'm not going to be moving with you in your feelings. So if you say something or do something that is not appropriate or good, and I say something, don't bring up your feelings, because your feelings don't matter. If you want a conversation where your feelings can play a key part, go talk to your fellow woman, because I'm not a woman, I'm a man. When you talk to me, we're gonna have a conversation, and feelings is gonna take a back seat. Whenever you're ready to have a conversation with a man, then you come on, let's have a conversation. Because what a lot of women do is they turn fantasy into reality using their feelings. You could tell them, hey, don't cross the road, you're gonna get hit by a car. And they'll start talking about how the way you said it, or how you said it, or the sound of the way you said it, and she's feeling, or she's feeling restricted, that she can't cross the road. And then she then covers her ears and then goes and crosses the road, gets hit by a car. They use those feelings to turn fantasy into reality. What they perceive, which is not true, they'll make it a physical feat and then try to control you with those same feelings. So I've had to tell a lot of ladies in the past that, hey, if you want to talk in the world of feelings, go talk to your girlfriend. For example, even with cousins, I have to tell some of my female cousins, look, 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 look. If you come to me crying or you have some issue, I'm gonna tell you what you need to know. If you don't want to know what you need to know, go talk to your girlfriends. But when you come to me, you're gonna get answers. And if you want to just talk and I just sit here, I could do that too. But you got to tell me which one. Now, obviously, I'm gonna be able to differentiate and know you really don't want any solutions. You just want to be heard. And be heard doesn't, in the world of men, being heard means I have a solution for you. I've heard you, so here's what we can do to fix this problem. In the world of women, being heard just means I just want to talk and express and release these bundled up emotions and tension that have somehow generated in my body. So that's how that is in the world of females. And so a part of a guy's job when you're working with a lady is to be able to differentiate when she actually needs advice and when she don't. And I would say 90% of the time when a woman's talking about whatever she's talking about, she just wants to be heard. She just needs you to listen. So you just be quiet and let her talk. All right? Let her vent her feelings or whatever. And you really don't say nothing. Now, where I draw the line is when I say something like when a girl tries to apply certain things to the relationship where it's like, yeah, I gotta draw this line right now, else this is gonna get out of control in the future. Because with ladies, knowingly or unknowingly, and I really think it's more so knowingly, they know what they're doing. They will create a situation in their minds 10 years down the line, and then over the next 20,000 days, they'll apply it slowly to get to that point. A man who used to stand strong is gonna just keep bending till he like curls, right? So, in order to not even get to that point, the best thing to do is always to protect your integrity. If you, for example, if you just meet a girl and she's talking about I love you, don't lie to her, especially if you're in a very vulnerable position, right? Where you guys are in the midst of romance, or maybe somebody died or something, and then she wants to say, "Oh, I love you. I don't love you." You don't engage in that. At best, you can just ignore and not say anything, but don't lie to her, because this is what happens. A lot of guys will lie to a woman and say they love her when she starts talking about love in a very interesting situation. And the reason why they say they love her back is so that they don't mess up whatever it is they got going on. Me particularly, I don't really care to continue what's going on. As in, I don't mind to lose it or keep it. Right? So I'm going to go ahead and tell you, hey, I'm not going to say nothing, but if you keep on doing it, right, then I'm going to be like, nah, it's time to be like, hey, you know? And so these are things that you got to do in the beginning of relationships, and these are things that you have to do moving around, because you really do set the cadence on your life. With every single person you meet, you set it. So outside of giving off that air of, oh, I'm a man, I like men, or I'm a woman, I like men, or whatever it is, you move a certain way. For example, I have a friend, right? He used to talk to this one girl, and he started dating another girl. Finally, started dating a girl after chasing one girl for a year, and she just kept playing games. The other girl comes back and says, "Oh, you didn't want to wait on me. You know, you always was sexual and all that." And da 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 da. And he was like, "First of all, you and I interacted with each other the first date. Second of all, you're how old, and you trying to close it up at 30 what? You know. Third of all, you're always hot and cold, cold and hot. Whereas this girl is consistent. So it's not just being feminine. It's not just looking feminine. That's just putting out that energy that I am a woman looking for a man, or I'm a man looking for a man, or whatever it is your situation is. The way you act needs to be consistent of how you want to be taken. So if you're always hot and cold, that is consistency. So you're consistently hot and cold. That is not gonna get you a relationship. So, for example, if you're consistently love bombing, that is bad, because after the love bombing, then you're gonna do the withdrawal after you realize that you've gotten the man hooked. I've been love bombed so many times where it's crazy, where a girl will sit on the phone with you 20 plus hours a day, and then next you know, a month later, a week later, she got you blocked and everything, because she come to realize that she got you where she wants. That's her high. And now she creates a situation years down the line where she's wondering where all the good men are, whatever. There are no good men, but you have been literally destroying your own relationships with your own hands by the way you set your cadence, by the way you initially put yourself out there. Like, for example, one of the things I really run away from are women who have a very strong mother presence in their life. Women who have this mother hen vibe, where you could tell the mom literally picks out her clothes every day, puts her shoes and outfit together, ties her shoes. These moms are very much active in their relationship, and they're building this a lifestyle or dream out of their daughter's life that they never had themselves, right? They never had this lifestyle themselves. For example, I know so many women who I've tried to date that I interacted with where their mom was a stay-at-home mom. Their mom got like 10 kids. Their mom got 8 kids, 5 kids. Yet their daughter is now nearly 30 or 35 and still out here trying to be a career woman. Meanwhile, the mom is so strong-minded about, and like really, really, really hard on who she's trying to date, and putting up all these sorts of rules for the men who do step up to try to date these type of women. But what the mom doesn't realize is, one, her daughter, like, while you're trying to scare away these guys that you think aren't good for your daughter is literally getting it in the Arby's drive-thru, getting it in the McDonald's cookout line. you don't even realize that your daughter is it's like Goodwill drive-through. Like, you don't even realize it, but you're very hard on the type of guys that actually took the chance to try to date and vet your daughter and be a part of the family. But you're so mean on these guys, and so I stay away from these so-called mother hen types, because they have a good life. The mom has a good life. There'll be a stay-at-home mom, or maybe they work from home. They have a big family, yet their daughter, they've controlled their daughter's life so strict, trying to create this idea of what they thought they never had in their life. And the only person really suffering is their daughter. And the other reason why I don't like to deal with these type of women is because when you're dealing with these girls, that's what I mean, especially in the black community. That's what I mean. When I get the vibe from a black woman, it's more like, I don't need you, I want you. Like one of my principals said one time, I don't need you, I want you. I don't know why that would be attractive to anybody. It's that I get that vibe of, I'm competing with you. How can we build this empire? I get that vibe, right? As if they're interviewing me for a job. I don't get a sweet feminine. And so and then they want us to lead as a man. So when you go into lead, they don't listen because they're so stuck on listening to their mama. If mama told them to sit down, they sit down. Mama told them to stand up, they stand up. And then when you, a man that isn't their mama, isn't their daddy, really you're volunteering your money, your effort, you're doing a good thing. You're putting yourself out there. Nobody's paying you to do this. You going out your way. You've chosen this one particular person to do all this thing for, and you're taking for granted. And the mother is actively belittling your efforts and your presence. Like, I've been at tables before where a woman's mom was literally talking about, are you still gonna text old dude or whatever that I guess was interested in her, or are you gonna give the number to your sister? While I'm literally at the table with them. And that's just one of many, many, many stories, you know. I've interacted with women who mama literally said I'd never amount to anything, you know. And so it's very painful situation when you work with these type of girls. And what's crazy is these girls will turn around and be like, who hurt you? You need therapy. It's like, I don't need therapy, first of all. Who hurt me? You hurt me. If anybody hurt me, and if anything, it's really a reflection on you, because if I need therapy, why are you causing human beings to need therapy? But it's just that interaction. That's why I don't deal with those types. So when I meet a woman and her mom is so strong in her life like that, I'm good. It's a different when a man is strong in his daughter's life. It's different because he just wants you to bring her home at a certain time, be responsible. You know, if you get her pregnant, you gotta take care of that kid. So just be responsible. But when it comes to a mom being that strong in their life, they end the relationship with you. They're literally in the bed with you. A French man said recently that he said that anytime a man and a woman relationship end, there are two people in that relationship that caused it to end. He said the wife, and I thought he was gonna say the husband. He said the wife and the mom, right? So so really, again, just to end this conversation, finally, yeah, you have to be what you want to attract. Like you have, let me not say that, because if you want to attract man, you're a woman, you don't need to be a man. So let me change it up a little bit. Like, you just have to change to be what you want to attract, or you have to attract, men don't want strong, powerful, independent women. We don't want that. Men want something they can protect, take care of, and feel good about. Men don't want to be belittled. Men want something sweet and gentle. We don't go and hop in bed with other men. So if you're behaving and moving like a man, if you're being mean, guess what? You're either gonna get a so-called nice man, nice dude, you know, that just lets you do whatever you want, or an irresponsible guy, maybe even a guy 20 years, 30 years younger than you, but not the guy that you say you want. Not a strong, hard-working man that stands on that whatever his principles are, he's willing to stand on it and die for his beliefs. You're not gonna get that kind of guy. You're really not. And that's one thing I love about Kevin Samuels, because at 28 years old, a lot of things he was talking about, I had already experienced. Oh, and with the things that I couldn't explain, he explained for me. And it was really eye-opening, like, I see. I see. I see. You know? Because he really did talk about this. You really are what you attract. So if you keep getting terrible relationships, bad situations, you gotta switch it up. You gotta soften. Just because you're strong, independent woman today, don't mean you can't change it up and truly change. Not adapt, not camouflage. Truly working yourself to change, to get what you want. Don't mean you can't, you know. Anyways, yeah. Again, the topic for today was you could tell when you see somebody, especially when it comes to attraction, like what they, you could tell off the bat what this person is or what they're trying to get. You could tell when you see a wife. You could tell when you see a husband. You could tell when you see a guy who likes a guy. You could tell when you see a girl that likes a girl. You know, so you gotta really look in the mirror and be like, what is it am I attracting? Because you could tell. For example, I don't ever really dress up because I'm not trying to attract the so-called high quality gold digging women or whatever you want to call it. Apart from my car, which isn't even all that because everybody drives a Mustang, I try to stay pretty low key and I try to use my personality. You know, I try to use my humor, you know, to attract women. And if you take the time and you feel and you're actually interested, you'll get to really see that I'm genuine. And that's the goal, to really hook you on who I am essentially. Because through thick and thin, that personality is how is what I'm gonna use to combat the best of times and the worst of times. Because even when you don't have money versus when you have money, those can be the best and the worst of times. Because not having money really shows who you are, your character. Also, not having money really, having money really shows who you are and your character. So I want people, obviously women, to really take the time or really have the opportunity to look at me for who I am before they see the glitters and the gold. And that's what I aim for in relationships. So, and particularly the last woman I really was head over heels for, I really thought she saw me for me. I really thought she saw who I was. I really thought she didn't care about the things I was insecure about and just wanted to spend time with me. I really thought she really, above all things, enjoyed and wanted, desire to spend time with me. And that's what made me really value the relationship and made me really care and adore this woman, because we didn't need anything. We just, as long as it was just me and her, we were happy. And that's what really made me happy. And that's why I was able to be at work always longing about being home or running to come home, you know? And so that's a great feeling. The next live I'm gonna do, I really want to talk about not allowing politics, family politics and worldly politics to influence and ruin your relationship. Because when your significant other, remember, significant other and partner are two different things. Partner is a business. I don't believe in partnerships. I believe in husband and wife. And you can say significant other. You can say that. Because that can be like, oh, my other half or my good half, stuff like that. Or my good quarter. You can say that. I'm fine with that. But the whole partnership, I'm not. Anyways, whenever your significant person leaves and it's because you mismanaged your family and allowed them to push that person away, or you allowed your family to push you away, you're the only person who's going to be laying in that bed. Your mama and your daddy, they got each other. Your sister, she got a man. Your brother, she got a woman. You're the only person coming to Thanksgiving by yourself. You're the only person coming to Christmas, to Easter. You're coming by yourself. And guess what? Time keeps moving. Time keeps flying. And the grass really is not greener. When you go over there, the grass got shit all in it. Sometimes when you go there, there ain't no grass. It looked like grass Turns out it was just the sunlight shining in a particular way. But when you got into the other yard, what you saw was just mud, dirt. So yeah, the next live, in the next future lives, I'll talk about that. I have a whole notepad of different topics I am going to be discussing, so that should be up and coming. And that's it. Whoever liked my live, thank you. It might have been my sister, but whoever liked it, thank you. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys later.